What if I told you that everything you think you know about building wealth is kind of wrong? That the very skills that could make you rich are the same ones that are most likely to leave you with nothing? You see, there's a secret that separates the people who are truly wealthy from those who are just temporarily rich. And today, we're going to unpack it. It's the huge and often painful difference between getting rich and staying rich. But first, I want you to do something with me. Wherever you are right now, just for a second, look down at your hands. I'm serious. Take a real look, because in them, you can find the secret to either total financial freedom or complete financial ruin. Just think about what your hands do with money. Are they always reaching, constantly grasping for that next hot stock, that one big bet that's going to change everything? That's the energy of getting rich. Or are your hands holding, carefully, patiently, protecting what you've already built, shielding a safety net that protects your family from chaos? One is an all-out sprint, the other is a marathon, and confusing the two, well, that's a fatal mistake.
There's a feeling in this world that's more addictive than any drug. It's the feeling of more. It's a total rush, a high. It's that intoxicating voice in your head that whispers you're just one brilliant move away from changing your life forever. It tells you the goal is always a little bit higher up the mountain, so you have to keep climbing faster and faster, no matter what the risk is.
This is why the author Morgan Housel asks a question that just cuts right through all the noise. He asks, are you building wealth or are you just renting it? You see, renting wealth is flashy. It's fast. You get that penthouse view for a little while and it feels absolutely incredible. But the landlord, whether that's the market or your own luck or your ego, can evict you in a heartbeat with no warning at all. Building wealth, on the other hand, is different. It's laying a foundation, one boring brick at a time. It's slow, it's deliberate, and it's designed to withstand any storm. Now, to really understand this terrifying difference between building and renting, we need to talk about a man who was a genius at getting rich, but failed spectacularly at staying that way. We need to invite a ghost into the room.
His name was Jesse Livermore, and back in the roaring 20s, he was a legend, a kind of phantom who could move markets with just a whisper. He was the original Wolf of Wall Street, decades before anyone had ever heard that term. At his peak, he was worth the equivalent of over $1 billion in today's money. He was an artist, a man who could feel the pulse of the market, its fear, its greed, long before any chart could tell the story.
His life was just a dizzying roller coaster of pure euphoria and deep despair. In 1929, when the market crashed and wiped out fortunes, Jesse Livermore saw it coming. He bet against the market and made $100 million in a single day. But that was a problem, you see. He had mastered the game of winning. He was addicted to it. He had no idea how to just walk away from the table. He lost it all, made it all back, and then he lost it all again. It was a life lived right on a razor's edge.
In 1940, inside the luxurious Sherry Netherland Hotel in New York, Jesse Livermore took his own life. The note he left for his wife ended with 4 simple, haunting words: "My life is a failure." Just think about that. A man who held $1 billion in his hands declared his life a failure. He was a master of the game, but he never learned its most important rule: how to stop playing. His story is the ultimate warning about the danger of only knowing how to get rich.
Livermore's tragedy shows us a deep, uncomfortable truth about wealth and risk. The very same skills that help you claw your way to the top of the mountain are the ones that can send you tumbling right off the cliff on the other side.
Okay, let's spend a moment on this slide because this is so important. Just look at these 2 columns. They're polar opposites. To get rich, the climb, you need what's on the left. It starts with optimism, a deep, unshakable belief that you can beat the odds. You have to take big risks, you have to be aggressive. But to stay rich, to survive on the summit, you need the mindset on the right. Notice how optimism gets replaced by paranoia, a healthy fear that it could all be taken away tomorrow. Big risks are replaced by humility. Aggression is replaced by caution. It's a complete psychological flip. The problem is, our brains don't really have an off switch for that risk-taking muscle. Imagine you're a race car driver who just won the championship. The crowd is roaring, but instead of slowing down, you get in your family minivan and keep driving 200 miles an hour on the way home. I mean, it's insane, right? But that is precisely what so many of us do with money. We use that aggressive, high-speed mindset to win the race, and then we forget how to drive safely once the trophy is in our hands. So if the skills that get you rich can also make you poor, how do you break that cycle? How do you get out of the race car?
The answer is both beautifully simple and unbelievably difficult.
Morgan Housel writes that the only strategy that truly matters is survival. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's not about getting epic returns or timing the market perfectly. No, it's simply about being the last one standing. It's about staying in the game long enough for the real magic to start working.
And that magic is compounding. Think of it like a tiny snowball at the top of a very, very long hill. The secret isn't a stronger push at the start. The secret is a longer hill. Compounding is this quiet, patient force that does not care about your IQ. It only cares about one thing: time. If you're a genius investor who gets wiped out, well, your snowball melts. Game over. But if you're a totally average investor who just survives, decade after decade, your snowball will grow to an incredible, unbelievable size.
This number on the screen, 93, is the perfect illustration. This is the secret to Warren Buffett's success. It's not just his investing genius, it's his age. He started investing when he was just a little kid. He has survived every crash, every bear market, every single panic for over 80 years. He never blew up. He gave his snowball the longest hill imaginable. His real superpower isn't intelligence, it's endurance.
And what does that survival look like in the real world? It looks boring. Honestly, it's the opposite of exciting. It's like eating your vegetables when everyone else is having dessert. It means keeping cash ready for a rainy day even when the sun is shining. It means having an emergency fund that earns you nothing. And maybe the hardest skill of all, it's having the quiet humility to look at what you have and say, you know what? This is enough. So if survival is the key, and if the path is that simple, why is it so incredibly hard? Why do so many of us, like Jesse Livermore, just keep our foot pressed to the floor? Well, the answer is simple, because we are our own worst enemy. The biggest threat isn't the market, it's the person in the mirror. Ego. Now, ego isn't always a bad thing. It's the rocket fuel that drives us to achieve things, to climb that mountain in the first place. But if you don't get rid of that fuel tank once you've reached orbit, it will tear your entire ship apart. Ego tells you that you're special, that you've cracked the code, that this time is different. Ego is that voice that lures you onto the rocks of financial ruin. It's the whisper that tells you to buy the car you can't afford just to impress neighbors you don't even like. It's that urge to casually mention your latest winning trade in a conversation. And its most dangerous whisper of all is the one that destroyed Jesse Livermore. Just one more big win, and then you're done. But with ego, you're never done. So how do you defeat the enemy in the mirror? How do you silence that voice? You do it by changing the game completely. You adopt a new goal, a new identity.
Stop aiming to be rich. Rich is a noisy public competition. It's a number on a scoreboard that always needs to get bigger. Instead, aim for something way more powerful. Aim to be unbroke. Unbroke means you're durable. It means you can survive a storm. It means true wealth, which isn't the car or the watch. It's the money you don't see. It's that fortress of security you've built around you. It's the ultimate freedom. The freedom to wake up every single morning and be the only person who decides what you do with your day.
And here's the final shift. Getting rich is an outward performance for an audience. You want everyone to see the scoreboard. But staying rich, that is a quiet, internal victory that no one else ever needs to see. It's the daily discipline of proving to yourself and only yourself that you are secure enough that you never have to show off again. So the next time you're faced with a financial decision, big or small, I want you to just pause. Before you do anything, ask yourself this one simple question. In this moment, with this choice, am I trying to get rich or am I trying to stay rich? Your answer might just change your life. It's the difference between a life of frantic chasing and a life of quiet, unshakable freedom. Choose freedom.